Now in this particular segment, I'll show you the second form of the Old Mother 8 Palms form. So we know the walk, so I'm going to try to keep it on a line here so that you can see it both front and back. So you'll walk the circle, and as you get to that open stance, you'll still do this cover elbow and press down palm. At this point now, you want to swing. You want to get this swing going like this. So you can call this anything you want, but it's an outside to in movement rotation. So if you take half your body like this, you want to press this down and turn and sort of overlap in the center as you come around like this. Then whenever you're ready, when you want to, you can do 2 or 3 or 4, ever how many you want here. But when you do it, you don't want to stay stiff. You want to make sure that you really move from here, that you don't move your hip bones quite as much as you move your torso. And you're coming around like this, you're going to gather it like this. When you do, both your shoulders have to move together, okay? So I'll come over this way just a little bit to show it to you. I'm down this way, and I'm going 1, 2, 3. You see how I'm letting these wrists bend each time. Then I come around this way, and I'm going to do pick up close here, but this hand's going to come under. Okay, so this is my right hand, and it's going to move to this piercing palm or pick up close. This is going to come under. And as it comes under, as I keep turning, remember we're in the tube. And when that happens, I'm going to bring this around, step, and I'm going to turn this foot toe in. And this is going to come out and look like this. Okay, if I do it from this direction, maybe you can see it a little bit better. This should be in the half, you see, so I'm overlapping. Okay, then I gather this up, pick this foot up, turn, step, both stance. I'm coming this way. You see this rotation inside the tube? Then I'm coming this way, toe in here. I come out like this. Then I rotate both shoulders back around till I'm doing this. So now I'll show it to you from this direction. I'll do it on the other side. I'm coming this way. This is coming under. I take a step. I come over. This movement is called remove helmet from the head. Both hands are out like this. I'm open here. You can see the knees still pointed this way. The torso's really turned, and I'm in this configuration. Okay? This is not all of it. This is just part of it. All right? So that's the first part of it. Rotate chi, gather chi around. Turn this over, pick up, close, come out here. This hand goes under, hits this, comes over, and does move helmet from the head. From this point now, this is my left hand. You're going to pick this foot up with a kick. It's an inverted little kick. And when you do, you're going to rotate both hands like this. This is called green dragon turns over its body. Sometimes they call it python turns over its body, but usually that's a different move. This is like this, and then I'm going to pick this up and turn it. Then I'm going to come out here with a toe out step. Come around this way and drop this hand down, plunging palm. Okay? And then I'm going to do 3 types of palms after that. So let's just go over it this way, step, move this way, step, remove helmet from the head, green dragon turns over its body, plunge palm. Now, when I plunge this palm, I'm going to come up here with a slanted palm, sometimes this is called a fire palm, but it's just going to press out like this. Then I'm doing a cutting up palm. So I'm just going to bring this cutting up, and then I'm going to take this foot and turn it like this as I do that cutting up palm with that knee. Then once that knee's done, I'm going to do, sometimes this is called snake creeps down. It's really not. That's more of a Tai Chi move. This is more like swallow dips to the water, or water bird dips down. You can call it whatever. This comes down like this. This hand comes back. I bring this up, bring up both hands into rising palms. Then I turn over and do a palm strike. Hold the ball again on this side. Rotate and come over. So I may have to do that in different ways so that you can see it. Okay, so you can see that constitutes a double palm. In actuality, it constitutes a smooth palm change because it's got double. It's gone beyond double into more than double. Okay, because it's moved a couple of different ways. Right? So let's keep it in mind. We're in this one, coming down this way. Remove helmet from the head. Press palms out. Green dragon turns over its body. Plunging down palm, slanted palm, fire palm, upcutting palm. Bird flies to the water, pressing up palms. Then you want to, when you get to this stage, you're slanted to the circle. You're going to pick these palms up, turn one over, and make that move. So I'll do the whole thing, walking the circle, and I'll try to go really slow so that you can follow that. Okay? So I'm making the walk. Let's go really slow here. Hand, cover, press. Now, do that on both sides. When you do it on the other side, make sure that you've changed everything up. So, if you start out this way, you wind up going the way that you were going first. If I was coming this way, then it'd be like this, and then this way. This is my left hand. This hand comes over, steps. Now my right hand's up. Dragon turns over its body. Plunge down palm, slanting palm, fire palm, rising up palms with the knee. Bird takes to the water. Rising palms, and you can see me standing at about 45 degrees to the circle. This hand drops down as I take this step out. They don't separate that much. So as I come down here, let's see, let me show it to you. I come up and I'm facing this way. You see my hands are this way. Now, and I will be facing outward to the circle. So if I was right here, that's what it'd look like here. Then as I step, I want my shoulders to follow me. This is going to turn over actually before this one turns over. So the forward hand will turn over first. This hand will do this movement like this. Everything's in a circle in Bagua. Please keep that in mind. You never stop, not for a moment. Even though I'm doing this slow so that you can see each move together, they have to be linked together. Okay, it's important to do that. Once I get right here, I'm going to take this and when this drops down, then this turns over. This is encountering my opponent this way. I'm going to drop whatever he's doing to me around in a circle this way. I never go straight lines. Even here is not a straight line, as you can see. See, it's always doing that. So as I step over this way, you can see the shoulders are always making this rotation. And when that happens, I'm going to turn this over, take this step. And this stays like this. This shoulder, elbow, wrist all drop like this. It's not like this. It's not picked up like that. It's like this. Then when you come on, you want to bend this knee, rotate the body here. When that foot hits, that should cause a cascade effect as you rotate through your body to make this palm come out. You actually touch your opponent with this, with the fingers, and then the wrist hits. You can hit here or you can hit here. You can strike with the fingers. But you're in this position, you see, and then it comes back. You see it's back again. See? And turn and press palm. If you were this way, you bring it up this way, come up, and this would turn over first, then this follows it. So it's like, boom, 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 boom. I've taken a step. This is somewhat down. You can bring it up for a second, the elbow. And then this comes over and, all right, see, I turn this in. See this foot and leg? I don't just step here. I really rotate right here. Really get a deep rotation. I don't collapse though. I don't fall over. So I got to remain upright. So that's your second palm change. This palm strike was very hard to learn, simply because people keep wanting to do this. You leave your elbow up. You do all kind of things that you shouldn't do. It should just hang here and you move it with your body, so that when this foot touches and you touch on your kidney 1 point, you're throwing this palm this way, but from a curve. So your torso and shoulder are curving, this palm is striking. So it's, and then it's back. See how I moved both feet there? So when I came here, this foot was already in, then this foot did that, then I come this way and back around into turn and press palm, or dragon stretches its claws. So I hope that's good enough that you can see it well. Write me or email me and let me know, if you don't see it that good. Like I said, we offer private lessons here. And you'll learn to do it in self-defense as well, because as an opponent's strike is coming, you don't want to stay on the perpendicular to the vector of his strike. You want to be able to move to that vector. Now, does this have anything to do with it? Maybe, yes, no. Depends on what he's doing. What you're trying to do, he could be trying to tackle you, okay, or do a leg takedown. This would effectively get your shoulders, or get your arms inside his arms into his shoulders, which can effectively stop that takedown if you keep moving. But if you move in a straight line, it won't. So as I come here, you see, if I stopped his movement, say I'd step back up, you may flip his arm over here. See? And you wouldn't even have to do that palm strike like that. But you could just be here and somebody's about to throw a blow and I throw both my palms out. But notice that I've turned like this. See? And I've opened the wrist as I turn. I did not just stay here and do it. That'd be force against force. I turn to it. Then this would be closer up his arm. I can drop this and control the shoulder as I press forward and strike him. So then he would have to be able to move in 3 dimensions at once. Very unlikely, because then he would have to follow the dissipation of force principle, and I rarely see anybody do that. A few people do it, the few people I respect do it. But you're going to take this and turn it, you see. So it's going to be a turn. And as you do so, you're just going to take a step, but this is going to drop. If you bring this up, you're stiff, you're hard. He can grab your hand here and turn it. He can do a lot of things. If he grabs my hand here, then it's very simple to beat that with just this. You see, because my elbow has somewhere to go. If it's up here, it has to drop. So I want to come in here, it's already dropped. I don't want to have to do anything here but that now. Using your body to make that strike. Okay? So that you're coming from your spine. Your spine's doing this, and it's coming through your body like that. This hand then is doing something different. It's important in martial arts to be able to do two different things with your body at once. But there's always going to be where the body's moving as one thing, then there's separation, then the body comes back together and does the one thing again. You can see here this is one thing, then this becomes two things. But in reality it's one thing because I'm like turning something over here. See, I'm turning over as I shift my weight and take a step. Okay, it's a lot different from this move and this move. Although this has practicality because you can pull something to you. Okay, it's limited because it's just one way to pull something to you. In reality, you don't want to pull anything to you with your strength. Anytime you need to move your hands back, you want to walk to it. So that my hand would stay here, I just walk to it. Okay, that'll go a lot further than you trying to push and pull somebody with your strength. Because the more you're in strength, the more his friends can attack you while you're doing your strength move. If you're always moving, whether you can strike from that move or not, at least you are avoiding extra opponents. That's important in today's world. Very few people strike you alone. Oh, they do at one time, but they usually have friends around them. You know, that's when they get emboldened, is when they've got an audience or they got friends. You know. So when you come around here, it's this way. See, it's very smooth. Stay relaxed. No need to get crazy. Even this move, you see, it's just very relaxed. It's good enough because if palm strikes are good. You don't, you know, I train my fist a lot, but a lot of people are not trained. And I teach a lot of women and older people. You know, if everybody's got to be 21 years old in great shape to defend themselves, nobody could learn self-defense. There'd be no point, you know. It's just a big strength fight now. But what about an older person? What about a woman? What about a middle-aged woman or an elderly woman? Can she still defend themselves? Sure they can. Sure they can. Because you can gain internal harmony, which is reflected in external harmony, regardless of your age if you practice it, because it's just a simple neural net connection. So as you build more neural nets, you'll be able to do more things with your body, with your intention, called the E in Chinese, at any one time. Try to remember that. The 99% of practitioners are just using their strength. And that's not the internal martial arts. That's just not what it's meant to do. You know, even if you use it, that's not meant to do that. It's meant to follow the way the body is already moving. And the shoulder is the most movable joint in the body. So a lot of your self-defense techniques will have to do with moving the shoulder and your opponent's hip, because they control the limbs. You know, it sounds simple, doesn't it? But nobody follows that. So you see I'm this way, and then as I step, you see this is turned over, and then this is turned over. Why does it turn over? Because it's encountered the opponent. I don't just turn it over because I want to turn it over. I see that problem happening a lot of times, where people in actuality just impose what I call imposing your form, or imposing your kata, imposing your taolu. Don't impose it, because then it doesn't fit. Your opponent causes your form to take shape. Okay, that's something that most people don't follow either. But you have to let your opponent shape you. So you, in effect, become a type of inverse to what he's doing all the time. Water doesn't move till you disturb it. And to disturb it, you have to encounter it. You have to be in it. You have to touch it. Water doesn't move anticipating what you're going to do. Okay? So internal martial arts are a lot like water. Water can't move till you move it. But then it still moves with the same qualities that it always had. It didn't change its quality. It didn't become ice because you touched it. It didn't become steam because you touched it. It stayed water. If it's not frozen or it's not steaming, it just stays in that state. And if it's in that state, then it stays in that state till something tends to move it. That's a Newtonian principle. An object at rest tends to stay in rest until some other object moves it that has the power, momentum, and energy to move it, okay? So then it would have to have some mass. Well, when your opponent attacks you, he actually has a vector and he has a mass. So if you stay perpendicular to it and he's started earlier and he has more acceleration, then it's going to be very difficult to block that. You can't block it. You've started too late. But you can rotate to it. That's the point. I don't have to keep my torso perpendicular to this vector of force. So I don't care what martial art you study, you'll see that they generally, most of them work when, in reality, okay, not what they're teaching in the dojo, because you have a lot of cooperative students. And that's detrimental in reality. If you're teaching, you want your students to resist you all they can. Then try not to hurt them real bad. But then you'll find out that you're going to run out of steam, or you're going to be attacked by more than one person. You're not going to be able to do it because it's going to take time to overcome his force with force. In this way, my time is set up with his movement. It matches his movement. It's at the same time. So if he's striking here, I'm not going to stop it like this and chop it down and do all that stuff. I'm just going to turn with it. I'm just going to flow with it. Then once it's running out of steam this way, it's very easy to drop the shoulder. I do it with my students all the time, and I'll show it to you. If he's choking, anything, just get parallel to the vector. Well, this pulls you parallel enough to the vector that now I can press this down and forward. So it's not just pressing down and stopping. It's not just pushing forward, but it's rotating from up to down and in to my opponent. And at that point in time, he has a very difficult time trying to extricate his arm from your circle. Okay? Then that leaves him open. What if he throws the other blow? Then if he throws the other blow, you could strike that here, and then you can just bring this up into your slanted palm again, which was here, you see. So I will show you these self-defense moves. But this constitutes your second palm change, and hopefully that will help you. And I appreciate you joining us. And for the next one, we'll do the third palm change.